right now before Congress. Right. There's an email list, and if you're not on, I really encourage you to get on. It's at the back table. We do send out emails about actual planning, as well as events we're having. There's also some great information out there. There's also some great information back there about the moving to amend, basically, which is right now a bill
They got to buy more elsewhere.
I got my camera, bud. I got my cameraman. How you doing, bro? Good to see you, man.
Let me turn this.
Treasury run on money supply.
Sour and sweet. Sour cherries have more power than aspirin. Analgesic cards. You know that?
Okay, we do have
like
some more
13 sour cherries or something. This is like more power than like a certain amount of aspirin or ibuprofen.
We always have a fun way of shedding people if we go back down and picking some others up. So, Gilbert, are you here?
Be careful about eating this, though, because if it stays on your teeth, it's going to rat them out real fast.
What do you need dental work? I can't afford it.
Boy, after spending all the money I have on...
Awesome. So this is the angle coming up. He's really on a merit-based young man, but like to say, very interesting guy.
He just wind up not eating that stuff anymore, you know? He just wind up eating softer stuff.
You're the 1%.
God, Venice is the 1%,
You're the
man.
one.
I was down in Venice a couple days ago. They turned a whole fascist color, man. In the last 3 years, fucking turned Hitlerian. They got signs everywhere, no vans or no cars over 7 foot or longer than 20. That means mine can't park there overnight. Everywhere. And just the cops are just sweeping down the beach, giving tickets the whole time. I was just saying hi to friends for like 3 hours. And then
in this country.
that's for sure.
We don't have a fake democracy either. I think we've progressed beyond that. I think we can say that what we have is a semi-fake democracy.
Pretend.
And I think we can say that what our mission here to do is to bring it from a semi-fake democracy to a real democracy.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
And I think we can take some comfort in seeing the strides that people have made. For example, in the area of women's rights. If you think back 100 years in this country, 100 years ago, women didn't even have the right to vote. And they were legally, officially subordinate to men. Now those days are gone forever, and well they should be. Obviously we haven't reached equality yet, but we are getting there. We are getting it. The same thing is true for minority groups, people of color. We talked about Martin Luther King a little bit earlier, and really, more than any other movement in this country, the movement for black people's rights, for Hispanic people's rights, for minority rights of color is a way to go, a roadmap for us. Not a total roadmap, but a way we can learn from what's worked in through sustained effort over 2 decades or longer. Change was brought, and it happened, and it was real. And things have changed, not enough, but enough so that we can feel some satisfaction in their progress, and enough so that we can feel that that job will be completed in our lifetimes. Same thing for lesbian and gay and transsexual people. We've made progress, not enough, but more will come. But now it's the time, we've made that kind of progress, to move on, to build this movement.
I just left Long Beach 2 days ago.
We had a great moment in this country the last election. We had a transformative, or a charismatic politician who I think convinced many of us, even those of us who were inclined to be skeptical, that he had the power to greatly transform American society. And we all remember change you can believe in, and yes, we can. Yes, you can. And I think now, looking back at it, we see that perhaps what the Who said, we won't get fooled again, has a certain poignance to it. I don't think we were necessarily fooled in a deliberate fashion, but I think we elected somebody who didn't have the power of our convictions. He had the power of the convictions of other people, and he borrowed ours.
Who was that man?
We were disappointed. But at the same time, I think that we can learn a lesson from it. Change you can believe in doesn't come from the words of some politician, no matter how
change doesn't
charismatic
mean
or
change?
attractive. What it comes from
I thought that meant the same
is
thing.
the will of people together
the same thing.
to change things. And what's significant about Occupy Wall Street is that it has the potential. And we've talked about thousands of years of human history. This is in the line of that. This has the potential, only the potential, but it is a real potential to be a transformative moment in American society. Just as the Arab Spring had the potential, and we will see how it's realized or not, to be a transformative moment in the Arabic world, we have that potential here. It's a potential that if we take and we seize and we make something of it, we'll be proud and glad we're here because we've done something with our lives that's really worthwhile. We will have moved this country, this world, in the direction that it drastically, desperately needs to go. Thank you. Thank you, Occupy Santa Barbara, Occupy Wall Street. And Occupy Santa Barbara.
Thank you so much, Gilbert. That was awesome. Really, really appreciate that. Yeah. Everyone remember, we are doing a march next week and pretty much into perpetuity until we can change our country. Basically along the lines as Gilbert was saying, that change comes from the people. So it's a people movement. Is Marcelino around?
They're so frustrated about so many things on so many levels that they're looking for someone to blame. The media has made out the occupation to be the devil. We are the bad ones. We are the anarchists. We are the lowlifes that are making this country the problem that it is. You know, like, and I had to explain to this lady, I got 2 jobs, lady. I got 2 jobs. I got no health care. I pay child support. I pay taxes. I pay my phone bill. I have insurance on my car. I have a driver's license. I'm a productive member of society. I'm building my own business. And she just couldn't hear what I was saying. You know, I kept telling her, you need to turn your TV off. You need to come join us on the streets. You need to look up things online. So many people are so disconnected with the reality of the world today. The television, you know, if you flip through the channels and you watch NBC or Fox or CNN, the amount of disinformation is just every other word. It's just sickening. I mean, unless you have propaganda blinders or detectors on, like I can watch TV and I can say, oh, there's another piece of propaganda and there's another piece of propaganda, because I've been training myself since I was a young man to always question authority. And most people don't. Most people accept what is told to them by their authorities. That lady reminded me of being in 2nd grade, when a student would hear something that the teacher said and repeat it to the class to try and get approval from everybody else. She was looking for approval from the masses. She wasn't getting it. And she was feeling frustrated, and she kept following us down the street, and we kept trying to invite her to come join us, and she kept getting angry. And I've noticed people that come here on the fringe and take pictures, and are kind of like what they call voyeuring. They're like voyeuring on the movement, like they want to come join us, but they're just like, they're not sure. They're kind of afraid. And they're afraid because of what they hear from companies like the news press. You know, that they're a total biased company. You know, they talk about how they cover local issues and they want to talk about what's happening around Santa Barbara. And all you see is like things about other states and what's happening internationally, and more media bobblehead stuff. You know, and it's typical of rich, not even 1%ers, the 0.11, or we're like the 0.999%. Not really. It's not even the 1%. I kind of have a little bit of a problem with that term, because
how long will you stay in?
As much as you can, and invite your friends to keep joining us. This movement needs to build. We don't have a choice.
Me?
No.
And see, that's one of the questions she's asking. And I said, well, that's something we have to think out creatively as a family. People tend to look at history through their own lenses there again. And I say, when you look at the movement in India, or when you look at Indian civil rights movements even here, look at it in its entirety. People used a lot of different means to get what they needed. I am from the South. I married my Santa Barbara boy, but I am from the South. And I remember Martin Luther King. I'm old enough. I also remember when the schools were desegregated. They weren't desegregated, even though I wish it could have been this way, by people, thousands of people peacefully marching in with those kids. They were, unfortunately, forced to be desegregated, and it was right for them to be desegregated, but it was the National Guard with the guns that came in. and told the Southern racist that they couldn't harm these children. They could not harm these children, and it was guns. Now you might say, oh, they're legal guns. Okay, I get that, but they're still guns. I sat here in this square, and I won't go on forever, and a group of us came in, and we weren't armed, but someone got up and fussed, did you bring your guns today? Go take them home. Why am I bringing guns to a Martin Luther King march? There was a whole line of police that had guns. I don't understand why if they wanted to have their march, they were okay with those guns. Because there was no need for guns. Who in Santa Barbara is going to jump you? Half the town was still asleep. It was 10 o'clock in the morning, and the ones that were there were all happy.